It's the Diamond K Show. It's the Diamond K Show.
You talk about things from the perspective of how it is. DJ Diamond K. Sometimes it comes off like you are almost not in support of, but you just accept the way things are, and there's no chance of change. Check me out on YouTube. That's the part that I
OnFireTV.com. Visit OnFireTV.com for live top stories, breaking news, and original shows.
Looking for food that feeds your soul? Goodfellas Bistro and Catering is your local African-American restaurant offering American cuisine. Located across from the courthouse, we offer daily jury specials to reward civic duty. Enjoy our full-service restaurant and fully stocked bar. Dine in, pick-up, delivery, and catering. Our themed happy hours feature live music, handcrafted drinks, and weekly specials. Book your private event at goodfellasbistrocatering.com.
Welcome back. You man Diamond K in here, of course. The Diamond K Show on fire-tv.com. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. So we've been talking about this for the last couple days here. And that is the shooting death at the hands of the police. The Baltimore police of Tyree Moorehead. Some people know him as Tyree Coleon. I predicted that the police would take some time before they release the body camera footage. So, of course, today they have released that footage. They have slowed it down and then also released it unedited, so we were able to see it. And of course, we have a different perspective once you get some other angles. People are going to have their thoughts on what we saw in said footage. So let's do this. Let's take a look at the footage. If you're watching us on fire-tv.com, or if you're watching us on YouTube, DJ Diamond K, if you're watching us on Facebook, on Fire Television, or the Diamond K Show, or on Twitter, you'll be able to see the actual conference. But otherwise, you're going to be listening. And this is what was the press conference. I would call it a press conference. They released some footage. And let's take a look at that now.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for coming today. Joining me here today is Deputy Commissioner Brian Nato of our Public Integrity Bureau. We're here today to release body-worn camera footage from the police officer-involved shooting that occurred on Sunday at the intersection of Fulton and Lafayette Avenues. Now, before we show you the footage, I want to make it clear that I fully understand the high level of public scrutiny that results from any use of force from our department and law enforcement agencies across the country. I am committed to conducting a thorough investigation alongside the Attorney General's office into this incident, while also promoting transparency, equity, and accountability. At this time, I will turn it over to Deputy Commissioner Nato, who will go over the body-worn camera videos from both incidents.
Good afternoon. As the Commissioner stated, we're going to release two body-worn camera videos which show a police officer-involved shooting which took place on Sunday, November 6th at 3:41 p.m. To put some context into what you're about to see, this past Sunday, Officer Zachary Rutherford and Officer Trainee Michael Hazel were driving together in a marked patrol vehicle. Officer Rutherford has been a Baltimore police officer since March of this year and had previously worked with the Maryland Transportation Authority for 3 years. Officer Trainee Michael Hazel had been with the Baltimore Police Department since December 2021, graduated from our police academy in August of this year, and had finished his field training at the end of October. While waiting for his final certification through the state, Officer Hazel was required to work with a certified police officer. The officers were dispatched to the 1800 block of West Lafayette Avenue for a report of a male who was holding a knife to the neck to the neck of a female in the street. Within 2 minutes of the call, the officers arrived and immediately called for backup. Officer Rutherford exits his patrol vehicle, approached the man and the woman who were in the street. You will see in the video, the male has a large butcher knife near the head of the female while they were on the ground. Officer Rutherford discharges his weapon, striking the male. Officer Hazel remains by the patrol vehicle and radios for additional units and medics. As those units arrive, he and other officers provide medical attention to the individual who was shot. The man has been identified as Tyree Moorehead of Baltimore, and the female is also a resident of Baltimore. It does not appear that the two are related or have any connection. We will be releasing 2 body-worn camera videos to you today. Following our critical incident release policy, they have been given to the U.S. Attorney's Office, State Attorney's Office, the Baltimore Office of Equity and Civil Rights, and additionally, the AG's office that has the Independent Investigative Division. The first video you will see is from Officer Rutherford. The second video you will see from Officer Hazel. The first video has been slowed down a little bit to show you some points along the way. At the end, we will show you the complete raw video so you have context of all of that. We'll now show the videos.
Lafayette's up here, right? Hey, send more units, send more units, send more units, send more units! Get down!
The circle showing the male, the female is on the ground. The circle, again, showing the large butcher knife the individual had in his hand.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Send more units! Send more units! Sir, drop the knife! Drop the knife! Sir, drop the knife! Hey, back up! Back up! Sir, drop the knife! Hey, slow down! We need privacy. Hurry up! Get that! Hey, drop the knife! Drop the knife! Sir, drop the knife! Drop the knife! Drop the... Don't move! Don't move! Ma'am, are you okay? Don't move! Sir, don't move! Hey, back up! Back up! Hey, send more units! Send more units! More units! Send more units! Get down! Get down! Get down! Get down! Shots fired! Shot fired! Shot fired! Shots fired! Shot fired! Shots fired! Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back! I need a medic! I need a medic! Drop the knife! 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 Come on! Get back! No, I got it. Hey, yeah, actually, if you take this, I need somebody who's got a clock like this. He's only 32. This will be 32 to you.
And these are the unedited vision that we're running right through.
Lafayette's up there, right? Hey, 7 more units, 7 more units, 7 more units, 7 more units! Get down! Signal 13, get down! Get down! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! 7 more units! 7 more units! Sir, drop it! Don't move! Don't move! Ma'am, are you okay? Don't move! Sir, don't move! Hey, back up! Back up! Hey, 7 more units! 7 more units! 7 more units! 7 more units! Get down! Get down! Get down! Get down! Shots fired! Shot fired! Shot fired! Shots fired! Shot fired! Shots fired! Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back! I need a medic! I need a medic! Drop the knife! 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 Come on! Get back!
Both officers have been assigned to administrative duties, which is our protocol, and they've been referred to our health and wellness program. Interview with a female indicates that she was on her way to the grocery store, had gotten off the bus to walk back home to pick up some items she'd forgotten when she was accosted by the individual. Again, she said she had no connectivity to him.
So once again, as we stated the other night at the press conference on the scene, this is under investigation by our Special Investigations Response Team at PIB, along with the State Attorney General's Criminal Investigation Unit. We have been in contact with all of them. We have, by the way, shown this video to our elected officials here in the city right before we show this to you, and we're releasing it to the public. While it is under investigation, we cannot speak to the outcome of the investigation. We can see that it's clear that the officer saved this lady's life out there that day. So at this time, we'll take a few questions.
Commissioner, in the video, we see the officer continue to fire at the suspect, to shoot the suspect after he's already rolled away from the female. Are those gunshots justified? And please explain.
That will, it will be inappropriate for me to answer that before the conclusion of the investigation. That's why we have an investigation, and the investigation will produce a finding that would likely articulate the answer to that question.
Do you feel the shooting was justified?
It would be improper for me to say that before the investigation even began, much less completed. So we're going to wait the outcome of the investigation. What we can say, and what you just witnessed, is that a woman's life was saved.
The officers, by my count from the video, were on scene for less than 5 seconds, 4 seconds before gunshots were fired. Is it typical to pull up to a scene before your party even gets out? Is that enough time to fully assess what's going on before taking such drastic action?
Well, it's the answer to that is in the officer who is witnessing what is happening in real time. And what we saw the officer witness is a large butcher knife, which is what you saw, a large butcher knife in his hand, struggling with this female. And you saw him get back on top of the female with the knife, right at the female's head. And this had been going on for a time before the officers got there. So it's not for us to answer that question. That's why we have this investigation. And the investigators will come to a determination on what's appropriate, what's inappropriate.
And I know that you said obviously things are under investigation, and you know, with her question asking if he was crawling away, but my question is 13 shots necessary for a suspect? He fired 12, waited a moment, took another shot, almost point blank range, very close distance. Is that something that's typical or necessary with somebody with a knife, not a gun?
Well, the answer to that comes out of the investigation. That's why we put it under investigation, for questions like that to be asked, for policy to be reviewed, for training to be reviewed. And this is all based upon the threat that is present at the time the officer makes that decision. And once again, it will be inappropriate, irregular, almost unethical for any of us to answer any of that right now, because it's under investigation for an investigative unit to ask those questions and then render an answer to it.
Do you have information now about where he was struck on his body and how many times?
We do not. The medical examiner will be able to tell us how many times he was struck and where.
I do. I was told that the officer, after discharging his weapon, called his father and made some kind of remark about taking him down. Have you heard anything about that, or can you confirm whether that happened or not?
We cannot confirm that at this time.
Chief, it was 7 seconds from when he identified it to do it, and we understand the 21-foot rule, and it may have been excessive, but some people may think it's excessive, and the investigation has to come out. But when you see that in the public that you serve and the officers that are under you and have that stressful situation, boy, what do you think about when you see all those people that see that because of that?
Well, what I can say and should say is the 21-foot rule is a very old rule. It was taught to me in 1991. And it was taught for decades before that. We have long stopped using that. Departments across the country have long stopped using that rule. Right now, the officer's actions, any officer's actions, are based upon the immediacy of the threat and the severity of the threat. And that officer had to assess that with the time that officer had. What I can say, without compromising the integrity of the investigation, and I think it's clear to all of us, that the lady who was in danger's life was saved. We cannot, should not, render a disposition on the investigation while it's under investigation.
Last question by Kathy.
Sure. I noticed that there was a gap of time when he was on the ground before officers approached to administer aid. Is there a protocol or a training about how long, about when officers should approach to give aid in this kind of situation when someone's on the ground?
Well, that's a great question. I would say after rendering the scene safe, and when it is safe for both the person who needs the aid and the officer who is administering the aid.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you.
About other investigations?
Not really, but I'll stay here if you have any comments.
I have seen that as well. I have seen that as well. Yeah. So you feel as though it's a lot of people saying overkill. So you think that was overkill?
Overkill, bro. 100%. Like nothing justifies what that man did, bro. At the end of the day, I don't know what training you got, but that same training need to happen for every damn body. That's the case. You get what I'm saying? Y'all sat there. Yeah, I'm 35, bro. Remember, it was at Dundalk, O'Donnell Heights, something, that white guy, he had that house hostage.
Yeah.
I was 12. Bro.
Yeah, this was years ago. I remember that. Yeah.
They talked to that man for hours before they ended up killing him. Y'all need to talk to that man for 10 seconds. Y'all didn't give him a chance to even.
I don't even say, you can't even say that they talked. They didn't talk. It was just, yeah. Yeah. And that's what that it seemed like he was scared. So, like, you know, knew Tyree. I knew him from music circles, here in the city, and him coming through promoting music and talking about the no shoot zone.
That's how it started for me too. It started with that. Then he went to jail. Then he went to jail. I went to jail. Met him back in jail. He Muslim and everything. I'm not Muslim, but the brothers are everywhere. Man. He gave me, we had good talks and stuff like that. Came home, ran into him in the streets. And I went to prison. I come home. He got the shoot zone. You get what I'm saying? I'm looking at his antics on the internet. Clearly, the guy, he's a little gone up there.
Yeah.
Clear. But none of that has anything to do with the fact that an officer of the law put 13 shots in that man.
Yeah.
That ain't got nothing to do with that. And then after this man is dead, clearly not moving. Clearly his body has clenched up to the point where he's a fucking statue. Nigga looks like a Statue of Liberty on the ground. You yelling, put the knife down. Who are you talking to at this point?
Well.
What are you talking? You're talking to a dead body telling him put the knife. You are so out your mind, you don't even realize what's really happening at the moment. You're not ready for that type of activity, sir. You belong at a desk. You belong writing tickets for traffic violations. You do not need to be an active duty in the streets, in the field police officer.
Cause you saw how like he was just so like his adrenaline was just going. He was just.
I thought he hit a line before he hopped up the car. I'm gonna be real. I ain't never seen that one. And I said, I wrote that on my comment. I said, yo, Lil Baby wrote a song about cops killing people and actors still total free.
Well.
It's like you're not in your mind. It's like you're not in your mind. Like this ain't Call of Duty, bro. You're talking to a dead body, saying put the knife down. It didn't register in your head that you already killed him. It didn't register in your head you did a whole clip. It didn't register in your head that who are you talking to at this point?
Well. Yeah, it was crazy. You think the family did they got a lawsuit? Well, I guess they don't because he technically was yeah. Is that a lawsuit though? I guess is that something?
That's a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Excessive force. That's what my lawsuit was. Excessive force. Because at the end of the day, bro, I don't know what happened right here on the avenue, bro, but it's definitely 3-4 ambulances and police, right?
You on North Ave or Emerson Avenue?
Pennsylvania.
Oh, Pennsylvania Avenue.
It's definitely overkill. It's definitely a excessive force situation. When he got there, yeah, they was getting active. It was an active situation. But like I said, 13 shots, bro. The first two spun that man. He rolled off. He was doing the Macarena rolling on the ground.
Yeah.
That was overkill, but I don't agree with none of that.
Yeah, but we definitely don't co-sign whatever he was doing either.
Yeah, off the break I said that.
Yeah, definitely.
Off the break I said that. I said I damn sure don't agree with what he did at all. So he deserved a shot at you. Like, let's be real. I can't agree with the taser. Taser just for say he pulled up and him and the girl cussing each other out. He got the knife in his hand. They 10 feet apart, maybe. Hey, put the knife down. Officer, F you. I ain't doing none of that. Yeah, get him. But to actively be on the ground with that knife to that girl like that, yeah, sure. Don't massacre the man.
That's what happened though. He mad. I was a massacre.
That was a massacre.
So to me, do you think that if the officer had more senior, season on him and had been more experienced, he would have handled it the same way, or is it because the guy was pretty much a rookie?
Look what the other officer did, bro.
Yeah.
Freeze, chill out, sir. I heard him say, sir, all types of shit. I ain't hear none of that from him.
Call for back, and he called for back, more backup or whatever.
All I heard was more units, shots fired. Yeah, you the one shooting.
But and this is the other thing. If dude had a gun, I don't think he would have done that if he had a gun that quickly. I think he would assess the situation more.
He would have been scared of the standoff.
Yeah. But because he had a knife, he was really, really brave.
And you see, I ain't mentioned his mental case. I ain't mentioned the lady being white. I ain't mentioned none of that. I'm going strictly off of the face and all that other shit.
They have done that.
We know that man cold retarded. We know that. I'm not getting shot in my neck and sitting on Facebook Live talking about justice and shit. I'm not letting a dude stab me and I'm on the ground. The first thing I want to do is tell Facebook. You get what I'm saying? But I'm also not going to shoot a nigga 13 times that didn't harm me, my family, or take any food out my mouth.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't need to do that. Like I say, them first 2 shots was appropriate. If we was watching this right now and they say they shot that man twice, he in the hospital right now with might need his leg amputated, then that's his fault. But to sit here and say, man, y'all just did that, man, that's crazy. Whether it was Tyree Moorehead or Tyrese Gibson, it don't matter.
Yeah.
It was overkill.
So a lot of people are talking about the fact that it was a white girl, and you didn't bring that up. So you don't think that had anything to do with the way the officer reacted?
I'm gonna take a quote from the commissioner. That's something you're gonna have to ask the office. I can't sit here and say that man racist. I don't know that man. I don't know Officer Rutherford from anybody else. I can say that the guy that shot me was racist. He was white as thing. You get what I'm saying? But just because he wasn't black don't mean he ain't racist. Because if that's the case, niggas shooting niggas every day.
Yeah, but I mean, so I'm saying let's say the girl was black. Let's say that was a black girl instead of a white girl. Do you think he would have rolled up guns blazing the same way?
That's gonna be a question you'll have to ask the office. Being serious though, I can't say that, bro. That's if I say that, that's like saying every white man racist, bro.
Nah, yeah, no, I'm not even saying that. To me, it's just like I don't know if that's racist or not, but I'm just saying it's just like, okay.
I mean, they can say the same thing we say. Imagine that was your sister. He probably thought that. He probably imagine that was his sister as well.
Yeah.
Just like how we feel. When something happened to us, what's the first thing a nigga say? You imagine that was your mother, how would you have?
Yeah, definitely.
So I can say stuff like that and not necessarily have his back or be against him. Because don't give, like I told y'all off the break, I'm a victim of police violence, but I can't say I hate all police. I got homeboys I went to murder with. I love them to death. They drive the police chopper. You get what I'm saying? I can't say I hate all police. I got old police friends. They no longer police right now, but when they were police, I am sure no different than they were when they truck drivers. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not a discriminatory person. I am the epitome of a stereotypical black man. I'd have been shot. I'd have been to prison. You get what I'm saying? I'm from the hood.
Yeah.
I'm tall. I'm built, and I wear dreads. Nigga. I mean, somebody hate me just because of that.
Yeah.
And I would hate for somebody to empty a clip in my ass too.
Just because of that. No, that's all facts. That's all facts.
That man did that because she white. I can say that man did that because he was so amped up to finally use this gun. I can say 3 other things before I say he did it because she was white.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's judges out here that get drunk before they go to court. They hit lines.
That's true.
Says that man don't do the same thing before he jump into action.
That is true.
Everything ain't race-based, man. Some niggas just ain't ready for certain shit.
What nah, you said some people ain't right. He might be in the wrong line of work though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think that nigga need to be a fitness trainer or
What he definitely was. What you got going on?
What I got going on right now, man? Well, had the nightclub going on, but right now I'm doing big on the promo. I still got a tag and title situation that's going on, man. I'm out here in the streets. My people doing a big get back. As y'all know, every year I do something for the homeless, man.
Nice.
Turkey drive, food drive, stuff like that. So just stay in tune, man. We got a lot of stuff going on.
Definitely. We gotta get up too. All right, that's what's up. Definitely keep me posted. Whatever you got going on.
Stay up, man. Have to chime in on your show, bro.
All right, definitely. Thanks. Appreciate that. That was the homie Ricky Gambini. And we were talking about, of course, this footage from Tyree Coleone's Tyree Moorehead's the shooting death of him at the hands of the police, and he chimed in on one of the live feeds that we have going on Instagram, and I had to talk to him about it because I know that he's somebody who has experienced mistreatment at the hands of the police. And I think that generally what he said and what a lot of folks are saying is that was too many shots. But I mean, in the fog of war, they're gonna say that it was in heat of the moment, and he was trying to save the citizen, and it doesn't look good for Mr. Moorhead to me. A lot of people are going to say he had a knife to this lady, and they were, the police were protecting her, and that's what happened. And a lot of people are going to say that, and based on what we saw in the footage, you can make that case. You can make that case. So yes, obviously these officers were not very experienced. We knew that. The officer said that at the beginning of the conference today. So we saw 2 body-worn camera videos from the shooting in which the officer fatally shot Tyree Coleone, aka Tyree Moorehead, on Sunday at Lafayette and Fulton Avenue. They found Tyree holding the woman at knife point and acted, 5 seconds. 5 seconds after arriving, they acted, and it was it was something to see. It was definitely something to see. A lot of people have not seen that kind of interaction with the police and folks. Yo, what's going on? You the man. Yeah, nah, I definitely want to hear what you guys say about this. Yeah, it didn't look real good. It didn't look real good at all. Yeah. Yeah, he was wild. Yeah, it seemed like he was on the ground and she was she was already on the ground, and then he got on the ground. Yeah.
but it's done.
Yeah, and in that instance, so on our other live feed on Instagram, they're saying that they saw him being on top of her.
And if that's the case, you're on top of this lady with a knife. So say they okay. Everybody, why didn't you shoot him in the leg? Say they shoot you in the leg and you stab this woman to death. Now this woman lost her life. Now y'all gonna say
No, I don't have a problem with them shooting her. I don't have a problem with them shooting him. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. But the amount of shots that I heard on or that that we witnessed with somebody who was not a threat, and after the first couple shots, he was no longer a threat. He was, he wasn't swinging at the officer. He wasn't swinging at the girl. He was on the ground, on his back at one point, and the officer was still barking commands and discharging a weapon. But he was a rookie. The other guy riding with him was also a rookie. No, I mean, because I think experience is also a part here. You know what I mean? How you handle a situation.
even your most experienced guy gonna discharge about the same amount of time.
This is the thing that's confusing to me. When the officers get to a scene where a person actually has a gun, right? When they got in Uvalde in Texas at that school, when they was at the Capitol, people got weapons. Nobody they ain't discharged no weapons. They just chilling. But this guy has a knife and they unload on him. Now, if he had a gun, they wouldn't have shot him that many times. So I think, and if the guy didn't have a gun at all, I think they would have. Had a knife at all, I think they would have shot him more times than that. But that gets into the experience part. Oh, what? How many times have we seen people unarmed people get shot? Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And you know how they'll say my life. I shot because I felt like my life was in danger, right? So, yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true.
And then the man that was out, the little soccer coach that was out celebrating and threw the brick at the security guard and tore his ass up. Now, it's like, so in the heat of the moment, but it's like everybody quick to say, oh, well, you shouldn't have took the job. Oh, who the fuck was going to take the job? You ain't going to go out here and take the job. You don't want to go out here and police the streets and all that. And then if they do community policing, when these motherfucking shells start ringing out, them guns start banging off, y'all ain't running towards the bullets. You running in the other direction.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely got to have people that want to get in harm's way. That's not scared to get in harm's way, or not. But you. I agree with that.
You can't always say something happen with police, black, white, or how they play out. Oh, the police is in the third. All right, so we got one police shooting this weekend. Police only killed one person this weekend. Outside of that, how many people got killed this weekend?
No, to your point, that's a good point, and yeah, it is more than one. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's crazy. No, they are part of the problem. Ricky Gambini said 5 people this weekend. Yeah, they are not the problem exclusively, but they are part of the problem. Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with that. Everybody does. Everybody does. Hmm. 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 Ricky's on the On Fire TV stream, and he said that Tyree ain't have no reason doing that shit, but the officer they ain't need 13 shots to sustain him. Right. They leave it up to their discretion more than likely. I don't know about that. Okay, so me, I DJ'd in clubs for many, many years. And you still going it don't matter what business you in, people gonna come up and tell you what you're supposed to be playing. If you are a cook or chef, they're gonna tell you what should be on the menu that what ain't on the menu. You know what I mean? People gonna give their opinions whether they had the expertise or not, because they just gonna look at the result and say, okay, I want to be eating this, I want to be hearing this, I'm seeing this situation and I think you should have handled it like this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Ricky, come on the Diamond K show live so you can be on here with Avery, because I can see that y'all got different opinions on that. Come on my hold up, let me see. Where's yours? Yes. I want you to come on this live over here, not on the On Fire TV live. Let me see if I can invite him. Yeah, that's why I'm great. Invite him over here. Yeah. I just sent you an invite, Rick. Yeah, and that's what Ricky was saying. It was overkill. Oh, it's definitely a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You think so? Mm. That's true. No, that's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's not cool. That part's not cool. And it's like, because you can't have it both ways. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I agree with that.
That's why I say even when it comes to if they're gonna say he was an activist for the city, or call him whatever you want. But I'm gonna tell you what real activist for this city. I don't know if you follow Uncle T. You get you some background knowledge on Uncle T. And if you got some motherfuckers that know who he is, they can vouch for him to tell you. This man is in the smack area. Getting these kids off the street. Got a community center for him. Trying to get them. Doing everything he can do to change. Because if you change you can't change a adult. Once they become an adult, they got their mind made up. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You can't old dub on the tricks. But you can train these young ones up to have to be the way that they should be.
Definitely. Definitely. No, I agree with that.
Like I say, so it's like when we start talking about the training, unless the training gets revised, we always gonna have this issue.
Yeah. What up, Rick?
That statement was very correct. My issue was if we're not a part of the training, we don't know what it takes to do what it takes to subdue individuals. Them niggas shot the shit out of me, bro.
I'm not saying that it wasn't overkill. I'm not saying that because you got to think a lot of the inner city police don't even live here.
Right.
And I made that point.
Absolutely.
I made that point earlier. They don't understand what happens out here. They don't know. They don't experience what we experience out here.
They don't live in Philadelphia where shit go down just like it go down here. They live
in Shrewsbury.
Oh yeah.
3 murders a year. They leave their doors unlocked. They don't got no fence. Everybody coming together.
I was saying that earlier. I said, in New York, you gotta be from that borough to be an officer in that area.
Because you gotta connect with. If they go back to the community, you know where community policing comes from, right? It don't come from actual members of the community. It comes from the police actually being members of the community.
Right.
That's where community policing comes from. So to bring that back, you gotta bring the police back to the community.
There you go.
Khalid on Facebook is telling me, evidently he's an officer. If I've never done this job, I need to close my mouth. Oh, Well, the thing is that it's called oversight, right? And so whoever has oversight, you don't just give people free reign to do whatever, right? The judge in a case may have not done or been through what you've been through, but they judging you. The people on the jury, they may have not been through what an officer has been through, but they're going to judge them. So we can have oversight and not done the job. It's all good. Yeah, I'd like to hear that too. Okay, he says that he lives in the city. What would have happened if he stabbed her to death? Okay, and then y'all would be saying why the police did not do anything. No, I know. Yeah, so my thing is that I don't have no problem with him discharging his weapon in this instance. To your point, I don't think he should have unloaded the clip though. But there's a thing. He wasn't on the girl. He wasn't on the girl, and he wasn't coming at them. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, like we were saying, he definitely had a lot of energy. He was super animated all the time. He was a wild dude. Definitely not denying that. Definitely not.
face, lock his ass up. I mean, that's my thing.
Yeah, I wish it had went that. I wish it had went like that.
But at the same time, it's like, what if it's always gonna be a what if, and this why it's always gonna be a what if.
Yeah.
What if he hit him the 2 times, and if you flip him up off of him, but what before you get to him? Because now that you hit him twice, still died of it. Make sure you got a right hand to get this knife up off of him, because he still if he.
Sure. Good point. Good point.
But now we have video evidence of him fighting back. Him not just dealing with, hey, look, I'm gonna take this L. Now he wanna be gangster. Let's show him what gangster is. Now he can shoot his ass again. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just going off of what I saw in the tape.
Yeah.
I saw that man hit a car with it. We saw it doing the damn Macarena because that shit burned. You get what I'm saying? He couldn't let go of the knife because his nerves locked up. He couldn't let go of the knife, bro. I know what he's been through because I've been through it. I understand when we talk about the what ifs, we doing the what if because we feel like let's take all the way away from the police. You out there on the block and one of that like I'm only here to say it twice because that's all I need to get him out.
Nah, they ain't gonna look at it like that. Yeah.
And we didn't come and go ahead and say, man, why that boy shoot that boy around the corner? That boy, you know that they hit that boy 13 times around the corner. He had a wrong thing on that ball. First thing a nigga say is, damn, 13 times, they must have did something crazy. Yo, yeah, exactly. But when we involve the police because they supposed to protect and serve and all this extra bullshit that we put on them that we won't even put on ourselves. You can't protect them. I mean, protect, serve, and do all this. You ain't even willing to do that yourself. Hey, if it wasn't no crime tape, right? I mean, if it wasn't no that Exxon body cam tape, I probably wouldn't have this opinion. But going off of what I saw, that shit is over here. Hey, if I heard, man, he looked at it up 13 times, I would say, damn, Tyree must have been geeking. You feel me? Without only thing now, because you can actually see shit and make you feel a different type of way.
Definitely.
You can see shit, you just went off what you was told.
Definitely.
Right? Because if it wasn't for that tape, we thought the girl was black. We thought that was his girlfriend. Right. We thought he stabbed her already. You know what I'm saying? I'm going what the internet is saying. Don't know what played out, and then like I said, we want to say that the police could have came up disarmed, didn't have to discharge the weapon. Well, what about the police? Right. If you done had situations where motherfuckers go in the market put the gun in regular people.
True. True. No, we definitely have to hold us accountable as well. But it's a joint thing, though. You know what I mean?
And then the thing about it is, how they going to try to this bullshit. If it did, tell you that bullshit. We all know it's some bullshit. We all know he brought this on himself. That's all agreed.
Yeah, I mean, it was his actions, but we still even though clearly he lost his mind, it was he was wilding, but that doesn't mean that he wasn't an activist. That just he wasn't an activist at that moment. He wasn't being an activist at that moment. That's for sure. Oh, that's all good. Oh, Bree on here. What's up, Bree? That's a good point.
Always some type of scam. We never did a scam. We just get in a position, we make some money, and we start doing the shit y'all was doing. Now it's a scam. Y'all doing it, it ain't no scam. It's just you're in cool with they do it. The problem when not do it.
Bree, what you feel about the shooting? Do you think that it was overkill?
I think so. I had to wait a couple of days to watch it because it was just too much for me. But I think it was overkill. Like he said, them first two shots got him my blood. Like that nigga really flew in the air from off the ground.
Yeah.
So it's like, why continue? They've been waiting to get his ass. That was their green light. They like, this is our chance to take this man out. He been doing too much for too long. Get him out of here.
Yeah. Somebody when we wake up tomorrow, somebody gonna get killed. Somebody gonna have got killed tonight, tomorrow morning, however it comes down. Police ain't gonna be the one behind the trigger. So this motherfucker that is behind the trigger and singing, I only need to hit him twice. This 2 shots should put him down. Or in a situation where you done had nigga run down with the trying to rob, but you got a knife on. You quit with the knife, but you know what to do with it. You kill him before he can do anything to you. So it ain't always a.
I understand where you're coming from with that, bro, but this wasn't that particular situation.
But when you looking at situations, you gotta put them all together. You can't try to separate because it's no. It's the only thing, like I said, because you can't look like he gave himself up, but you can't see every angle.
Right.
When he threw his hands up and got down, I'm like,
somebody dropped the other officer video cam too on his page. So I saw both the angles. Like I said, that other officer, he ain't come out the car acting like that.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
Gotta think he didn't shoot because it's like, wow, he already know what was coming with it. So what did the police footage look like?
So yeah, so it's they're two officers that arrived, and the first officer who was driving got out, and 5 seconds he shot him up. That's what happened. Right.
He came out. I'm assuming he had a gun too. He hopped out, told him freeze, and before he could finish walking around the damn car, he already started getting lit up.
Yeah. And he was the officer that just became an officer in December of 2021, the one that stayed back. And so he played the back. No, it was only one officer discharged his weapon. Rutherford. Rutherford is the only one that discharged his weapon.
I just hate this about the Baltimore City Police Department, right? And I'm gonna say this because I understand you gotta make a statement.
Yes.
Make a statement. Think about y'all's statement, bro. You wanna know what the statement was when I got shot? Wanna know what they called me? They called me a hoodlum. Because of my record. I got shot when I was 29. I'm 35 now. My record's between 19 and 22. Yeah, I'm gonna just say I faced life twice. You get what I'm saying? So they don't bring up my activism. They don't.
I'm going to cut you off. You was a menace to society. If you beat life twice, that's a menace to society. So you ready?
And that shit stick with you forever, bro.
Okay, so now
that shit stick with you forever.
When they, it's like you gotta think about it. That's like when everybody like, okay, you can be from the hood but not involved in the hood.
Right.
So if you know that one of the niggas in your real act, like you wanna know you gotta deal with him different. So you know for getting active and this motherfucker ain't with nobody.
Hey Kelly.
Know who I was when he approached me and pulled out that gun and got into it. You get what I'm saying?
He judged you by your appearance.
What was that?
I'm gonna tell you what
I forgot his name.
I gotta tell everybody that when you black in Baltimore, if you fall under any of these categories, black, you got a beard, you got a pair of dreads, tattoos. If you got any of that on your person, even before they pull you over, once they run your tag and your license come up and they see you 6'2", 220. Nigga, what you know me or something?
Yeah.
6'2", 20. This motherfucker might be in the car, might be 5'8".
That man was 5'4".
Wait, 160. Do you really think he's wanting to get in the tussle?
Officer that shot me was 5'4". He thought he could see me with the hand.
And
But why come to me like that though? You thought it was somebody else. That was poor judgment. You opened my car door, bro. Imagine you talk to an officer like this and he going like this.
it's giving
With a gun out.
Yeah.
Gun out, bro.
Yeah.
Gun out. What I'm supposed to do?
Yeah, you supposed to defend yourself. But let's take the police out of the situation for a second.
If a nigga did that. If anybody did that, say it was up.
But I'm
going down.
When it comes down, like for me, for instance, I'm 5'7", 130. You said you 6'2", 220.
I'm 6'4", 220.
Right. So you damn near got me by 100 pounds. We get the disagreement, even if it turned out to be a tussle. That at any given moment, if this tussle goes too far left, I can lose my life just like at hands. So, and it's a family. But before I let you take me away from that, you got nothing.
I understand that fully. Hey, Kay, what was the spokesperson for the Baltimore City Police Department? The black guy with the beard.
TJ Smith. TJ Smith.
TJ motherfucking Smith. You know what that nigga called me? He called me a hoodlum and a menace to society for my charges from when I was 19 to 23. But I got shot when I was 29. You know what he said? I believe our officers acted in the proper way to deal with this situation. Guess what they said, goddamn, 7 months later when I beat the case? After further investigation. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now, bro.
For you to beat the case or for them to change, you had to beat the case.
Nigga, they came to me with an offer the first week I was locked up.
Of course. They gonna throw that.
They knew they was wrong, bro. They sat there and they play them games hoping that nigga tap out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that true. Now,
and guess what? The truth don't come with as much coverage as the initial statement.
oh, absolutely. That's always facts. But in
Shit got swept under the rug 2 days later because that's the year that the young kid killed the old man at the Popeyes, and that one nigga lit all 8 of them people up in front of that store. All that shit happened literally 2 days after I got shot. So my shit got swept under the rug. I ain't want no Freddie Gray ride or nothing like that. But if you gonna call me all them names and make me look all crazy like that, nigga, I was on Murder Inc. Nigga, they said I died, bro. They had to delete my story off of it.
well, let me say this. TJ is a friend of the show, and he no longer works there. He don't work for them no more. And he only was saying, yeah, he's only saying what they told him to say.
He's the fall guy. I don't got nothing.
Right.
If I see TJ right now, I'll pull him up to the side. I'll probably be like, hey, nigga. I ain't gonna hate the man. I ain't gonna go against the man, nothing like that.
Yeah.
But I know how it goes. That's what I'm saying. I know how this shit works, is what I'm saying. So, believe me, that statement that man, that commissioner made is fucked up.
Yeah.
We're not.
They already know how we go. That's how when I got this in bed and I Stokey was too connected to the people. They couldn't put that man in place because they ain't gonna be able to tell that man what to do. But we can tell Lil High Top what to do.
Yo, high top. Khalid said that a scared cop is a dangerous. A scared cop is a dangerous cop on the job. He says that he can take down somebody with 2 or 3 shots, but he's not trying to stop you. He said he's trying to stop, not actually kill. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess what you're saying is that we shouldn't hold police to a higher standard. We should let police be like anybody else. You can't get the ladies in the congregation pregnant. Yeah, I got you. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, but it's like it's like with police sometimes. When we talk about the Muslim, I know Muslims that don't necessarily follow the Quran by the book. Yeah, and so yeah,
They already Muslims over in jail. Took their shahada, came home and forgot about the shahada.
yeah,
Yeah, Tyree Moorehead.
Yeah, that's like that video when he was acting like he had the gun. Somebody was at his house.
yeah. He had a lot of wild videos.
I was trying to avoid the mental state conversation, but we don't talk about that shit all
I don't see how we can avoid it though, because clearly he was in some type of mental episode doing what he was doing. What was he doing?
According to Baltimore City Police, that was a random lady. According to the street detectives on Instagram, everybody thought it was the black girl that he go with.
Yeah, he was with another girl the day before. But this was not any girl we seen him with. She says, which the police say that she told them she does not know him.
She said she got
Not only did he not kill her, nothing happened to her. She wasn't stabbed. She wasn't shot. No. He was crazy. He was having an episode.
he went live before he went outside, right? Playing with the knife. He was playing with the knife.
Yeah. He brought a knife. So when he was at the studio, he had a large knife with him. He had a I don't know, like a huh? When he was at my Radio on Fire studio. A couple years. This is probably like 3 years ago.
He known to carry a knife, but I'm talking about right before that shit happened. He was on live, talking to himself on live, playing with the knife, kept pulling out the knife, like a lot of people say, like, would that nigga really just say, "Fuck my life, I'm ready to go"?
In so many words that if you watch the live, dissect it for what it is. Because he pretty much told the girl.
I forgot what they call that. You want somebody else to kill you.
Assisted suicide.
Hmm.
By a cop.
Yeah.
Like niggas that run in the middle of the street, like, hey, my bad, brother, you chose to kill me today.
It's a lot of other ways he could have died though, if he was trying to go out, but money and what? What money?
He already had 3 open lawsuits against the police. So now that you ain't getting really paid out, the only way you gonna get some type of payout, you gotta die.
Well, I don't know who his next of kin is and shit like that, but
Yeah. He got kids.
that's like saying that's like, you ever seen like a car accident, a real bad accident, or a bus getting an accident, you be like, damn, I wish I was on that bus. I mean, I had a couple hours cool, nigga, but I like my legs. I like being able to enjoy the money. I want to do everything I was doing before I got the money.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. I don't know what T was on the live earlier, but she hasn't jumped on the show feed yet. So if she jumped on the feed, I would have started the show. We ain't even started the show yet. I'm great. As a matter of fact, let me text her now. See what she doing. All right, Ricky. Oh, absolutely. All right, well, take it easy. Huh? Right. And everybody from Baltimore. Maybe it's because Bree ain't have on a shirt. I mean, she got on her robe, and that kept all the conversation cool. Maybe it's Bree's fault. You need to start wearing a robe on Thursday. You think he'll say that? You think he'll say that? Yeah, I hope he wouldn't. Well, I got the flute playing isolated so I could bring it up in case I ever need to again. Yeah, I just isolated that clip of him playing the flute. Oh, it it definitely was. He said I stand for what's wrong and what's right. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Why you great by a badge? Yeah. But I think he probably was looking at it like he was like this is no filter and he was just speaking to her you know. I don't think a lot of people probably don't know that. A lot of people probably don't know that. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Nah. Nah, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Oh yeah. Yeah, well she would also wild him out too, but I think that he is comfortable on the show and Bree allows him a certain amount of leeway. And a couple of times he says stuff that's gone too far and she pulled him back and you know the calm that be the topic. Yeah. Yeah, you said that.
goal is to take care of that. I don't want to hire shit. I'm good.
This shit just got so dark. What the hell?
No, I'm not saying I'm not one of the people where I'm quiet. I can live off the earth, but I'm not gonna make them live off the earth. Everything I do is for them. I stopped doing this shit for me when I had kids and when I got married. That's when it stopped being about me. When it was about me, they called me my shot clip. We drinking, what we doing? You want to drink? I ain't what the shit. We gonna get fucked up and you gonna get fucked. If that ain't gonna happen, we can go ahead and move around. Ain't got to say it.
I still got the footage.